Hello and greetings everyone. I hope this is working as intended because it's getting dark and my lighting, as you can see, is not the best, let's say. Anyway, my videos are usually unscripted, always unscripted actually, like the ones that I do with a live recording like this. The written ones are different obviously, and unedited. Now, with that being said, today I want to talk about a topic regarding Star Wars that I think is very important for people to hear, and that's we cannot let Star Wars die. I know that there is a lot of resentment amongst the fans. I know a lot of fans have walked away. I know a lot of people who used to be fans of Star Wars roll their eyes whenever something with Star Wars is announced and don't want it to continue. But why is that? It's because Disney somehow managed to make people basically mad at their products because they are not producing Star Wars content in any way like they used to or it was used to. They're violating characters. They're basically taking a dump on people's childhood, beloved characters, and really just ruining it, like what they did to Luke Skywalker and the Force and Palpatine and Rey and stuff like that. It's ridiculous, really, and I understand why people are walking away from Disney Star Wars. They turned some of the most badass dark side Force users in as the Night Sisters of Dathomir into a lesbian witch coven. Like, of course they did. It's Woke era and stuff like that. So I understand people walking away from Star Wars. I totally get it. I do understand why people aren't interested in buggy messes like Star Wars Outlaws. I completely understand why people don't want the Mary Sue characters and the laughingstock characters like Finn or those emotional children like Kylo Ren on screen. I totally get it. I understand why people don't like Disney Star Wars. I do understand why people walk away. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you shouldn't, and here's why. First of all, Disney did produce some level of actually decent content, like the very new seasons that they have for Ahsoka or Maul, which are decent. They have produced Rogue One, which is overall well received, and aside from many blunders that they made, they also made a nice season for Rebels. So I'm not saying that they are completely worthless. You just have to support the things about Star Wars that you like and love and show the shareholders, show the investors, show the CEOs, show the people in charge what you want to see. And then sooner or later we are bound to see it. Now, in this year we made a big step forward with Kathleen Kennedy finally being gone for good, with some of the stupid people at Disney and especially LucasArts being fired and out of the company, with meetings, emergency meetings with the shareholders demanding that people get Star Wars back on track, with plans to include Mara Jade and including more Legends content and Legends characters. I wish they would do some Old Republic stuff, honestly, but even there, Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, is getting a huge update and they're still getting great content and they're still getting great additions and expansions. Sure, Disney Star Wars did a lot of things wrong, but they also got at least a few things right. And what gives me a breath of fresh air is that every time Disney manages to not mess it up, if they just produce something okay, fans love them for it. Because, hey, at least they didn't make Star Wars bad. At least there is some decent stuff out there, you know? People are loving it, and fan projects are on the rise like crazy with the help of AI. People started creating Star Wars content that Disney denied us and didn't want to do. We have, I think, 2 animated, fully AI animated and decent graphic AI productions on the Darth Bane trilogy. That one is a little bit a quicker overview over Bane's story in like 1 hour, and the other is actually a multiple season show about Darth Bane's life and rise from as a minor as a minor all the way up to a Darth of the Sith and the Rule of Two era and his pupil and his end. Like there is and that's the one I know of. There might be more. There is animated TV shows of the Knights of the Old Republic games that do the entire games with animated characters. There is cartoons about Old Republic content. There is a guy that makes all of the old Marvel comics about Star Wars into semi-animated stories that you can watch on YouTube. There is people producing completely new Star Wars content with completely new characters, just doing basically epic fan made stuff where they tell the stories of their characters that they imagined in the pen and paper role play, or creating the stories that they have in Star Wars Galaxies or Star Wars The Old Republic. They are telling stories. There is more and more movie projects, completely fan-made sets, fan-made clothing and gear, fan-made stories of fan-made characters, and some of them are really, really good. They have full-out acted short movies. They have full acted 2 hour long movies. They have fully AI created movies. They have fully AI created shows. There is so much fan content on the rise due to AI, and a lot of it is really good. Much better than whatever Disney produced, at least, which, to be fair, is not that high of a bar, but you get what I'm saying. The people, the fans, are making the content that they wish Disney had done themselves now. They don't need Disney anymore. They make what they want to see and share it with other people, and I love it. It's actually, there is an uptick, and in the player base in SWTOR there is a massive spike in fan created content for Star Wars. Even Star Wars merch is selling better and better, and there is just so many people, that Gen Z and Gen Alpha people, that finally get to watch this SWTOR trailers or the old relatively old Star Wars TV shows like Clone Wars and Rebels. There's people that are watching the original trilogy for the first time in their life and absolutely loving it. People start rediscovering Star Wars, and luckily for us older people, and yes, I know I don't look like it, but I'm 40 myself. There's so many people who are into retro stuff these days. Young people that are into retro stuff, and Star Wars is retro. Let's be honest, it is. We are old guys, and the young people love it because many of the things that Star Wars has resonates with young people. They fight against a corrupt system that's keeping them down, as example. I mean, yeah, absolutely. They yearn for stability and something that is true throughout the times, a classic story. That's what Star Wars is. You have characters that are so beloved by many, many people, so many emotional moments. You have all the entertainment, you have lectures, you have wisdom, you have morals of a story, you have content that's actually good, and that's so much less let's say TikToky, you know. It's giving people longer attention spans watching Star Wars content, because it's not this click 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 10 seconds video, next video. It's a little bit more stable. It's bringing some peace to people. The Star Wars can be used to help people with life crisis, because Star Wars religions are based on real life religious systems. They are based on real life philosophies. The Jedi are basically Zen Buddhists. The Sith are basically Nietzsche guys. So there is real valuable life lessons and value and systems that help you to deal with the struggles in your life. There is a whole YouTube channel, Sith Mastery, who only does motivational videos on how to use the Sith and the Sith philosophy to improve yourself, to improve your life, to get forward, to get somewhere in life, to not be held back by depression or whatever. And it's really, really valuable. Star Wars has saved lives, and I'm not even joking there. It has. I personally know people who didn't commit suicide because Star Wars gave them hope. Um, I know people that have based their entire careers and career paths on Star Wars. I know people that basically live more in the Star Wars world than in the real world. There's the Star Wars religion, the Force and stuff. That's an acknowledged religion across multiple nations that has people that believe the Force is actually real. And you can say about it what you want, but it's a belief system, it's a faith, a real world faith that people take serious. You can't just kill it with a corporation. It's way too big for that by now. We have so many dozens of writers who contributed to official Star Wars stuff, not even starting about the fan stuff, just official stuff. We have so many companies involved with Star Wars. We have so many companies who depend on Star Wars to survive and employ their people. You can't let that die. And most of you might not even be aware, but Star Wars is the most influential piece of media the West has ever produced. Darth Vader, you show a picture of Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, or Han Solo, or Leia Organa to pretty much any person in the world, and they know who that is. They know the character. They do the that Vader does. Sorry, that was a bad impression, but you get what I'm meaning. They do the breathing sounds, and people immediately know the character. And that's not just in the West. That's in Asia, in Africa. You can show that to people that were never exposed to Star Wars, and they know who that is and what that means. That's how much influence this has. It has been continuous storytelling over 5 decades. No other franchise that I'm aware of can claim that. Not even the Marvel comics, not even the universe for basically anything like Lord of the Rings and stuff. There is no franchise that had that much content produced. There's more Star Wars content out there than there is, I'd say, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, you fill it in. Like, Star Wars has more content than most other franchises combined. You can spend, I don't know, there's about 100 comics. There's more, there's like dozens and dozens of books. Let's not even start on the magazines that came out. There is like dozens, a good 100 video games. There is multiple movies and TV shows, and there's just so much stuff about Star Wars that you can consume. There's Star Wars soundtracks that are brilliant. There's so much music referring to Star Wars and being made by Star Wars. Star Wars has had multiple parody movies of it. It's been in The Simpsons, in Family Guy, in basically almost every TV show that's gotten big has had Star Wars references in them. It's just such a big thing, and it's way bigger than Disney, and it was one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable, entertainment franchise in the history of the world. And it's beloved in across cultures, across generations, across time. Like, it has the potential to be a timeless story. This might be the one story of all the ones that we produce that might survive in the next into the next millennium. I mean, it technically already has passed 1 millennium and a century, and might be able to pass a second one, like timeless stories like Homer's Odyssey as example. We still reproduce something that was written 2,000 years ago, and I think Star Wars could survive as long as that, if not longer, because it is so versatile and speaking to so many people and getting all of the basics right and everything. Star Wars is also super valuable in terms of money. Do you know how many companies live just from producing and selling merch? How many video game companies specialized in Star Wars content or need Star Wars content to survive? How many people work at Star Wars theme parks? Or there's people that teach Star Wars lightsaber combat to people and children. That's like a legit martial art. There's people that give classes on how to spin a lightsaber. There's real martial artists creating Star Wars choreographies just for fun, for festivals and something like that. We have people that make homemade merch, that make lightsabers, that make cups and whatnot, and it sells. It's basically its own industry by now. You have so many creators of content that need Star Wars to continue, basically. And more importantly than that, Star Wars has such an influence worldwide with its philosophies and its messages that it makes people think twice. And there is so many things that you can take from Star Wars. People have met and married over Star Wars fandom. There is people who are so passionate about Star Wars that they are basically a cult. Like, this is some serious business, really. And that's not all. Like, I lost 45 kilos because of Star Wars, the Sith, specifically the Sith code, and the teachings from that. There's people who use Star Wars content to improve themselves and just have fun, or think about spirituality. Like, George's original intent with creating the Star Wars universe was to give people an interest in the spiritual, an interest in the occult, if you will. And people found spirituality through Star Wars. Now, you may say, well, it's a made-up fantasy world. I'm not going to comment on that, but it does what George intended. People talk about it a lot, and as said, it's on the rise, it's going strong, and it's just getting bigger and bigger at the moment. Star Wars is so much in the lives of so many people, you can't just let it die. And I really have hope, because the fan content is starting to be bigger than anything Disney ever produced for Star Wars. There's fan movies that have millions of views. That's basically more than the box office of Disney products these days. There is so much work going into Star Wars for it to continue, and I think it will have a revival rather soon. If by Disney or by fans, I can't say, but change is coming, and I really hope you continue. And more importantly, you have to show the people who are interested in the money that what you like. And if you like Star Wars, please support the Star Wars stuff that you like. I'm not saying that you should support Disney in any way, shape or form. Please don't tell Disney that they are doing anything good here. You should buy the old movies, you should buy the old video games, which by the way are regularly on sale on Steam. Show the shareholders that we have an interest in the good Star Wars of old, and not the new weird stuff that they are producing. Same goes for other franchises, by the way, Star Trek as example. Continue the fight, do something for it. This is not just entertainment anymore. How many entertainment networks do you know, entertainment franchises do you know that spawned literal religions and martial arts? Like, maybe it's me, I don't know any other. Just saying. There's so much fun you can have with this world, which I'll explain in other videos as well. But all I can say is we simply cannot let Star Wars die. It's just too important. And just take a quick look. Sorry. It's just such an important part of so many people's lives. As said, my videos are unscripted, unedited. I just sometimes need to read what my wife is saying, and yeah. That said, I kind of lost my train of thought, I think, and I think this is going on long enough. What I'm saying is that I know so many great YouTubers that turned their back on Star Wars and are so disappointed, and I do understand, but please don't give up hope, and there is a new hope on the horizon, and just support the things that you like and love. And if it's the old Star Wars stuff, support the old Star Wars stuff. Seriously. And maybe Disney or another company can do the turnaround. If not, support the fans that create fan-made content for Star Wars. Support the fan-made remakes of certain games. And the fan-made games, by the way, there's fan-made video games that are set in Star Wars. There's huge mods for Star Wars. Like, there is a Starfield mod for Star Wars that actually makes Starfield good. That should tell you something. There's mods that completely convert Skyrim into Star Wars, or Morrowind into Star Wars. There is so many Star Wars mods for so many games that just make them more fun. And there is so many. There's even Fallout mods for Star Wars. Like, there's so many ways to tweak games to become Star Wars. And it's because there is a really big fan base that is really passionate about this. And you can be a part of this too, and I hope you will be. With that said, have a great day, and may the Force be with you.